It's a dinosaur.
Welcome to beautiful Homestead, Miami Speedway, tonight's charity race event. We are here at Homestead, Miami, which was opened in 1995. Fun fact about Homestead, Miami, it was actually a project that was based off the recovery from the devastation caused by Hurricane Andrew. So, really cool backstory about giving back to the community in this racetrack, and that's also what we're here to do tonight. We got 100 laps on tap here tonight with some of the best drivers on the service. In the booth, you have myself, President of Speed Racing Network, Jonathan Byer. I'm joined by Jim Walton and Marty Phillips here tonight. Gentlemen, thank you for coming here tonight and giving us the honor to put on this great event on our channel. Jim, if you'd like to talk a little bit about why we're here tonight and what this event's all about.
Sure thing, Jonathan. I appreciate you guys putting this on for us. Um, for the people that don't know and the people that are out there, we're here to honor a life today. Somebody was taken from us way too early, and that person, her husband Russ, has been a pillar of this community for a long time. He's a great person. Give you the shirt off his back. So now it's kind of the community's turn to kind of show that love back, and we're here to do that tonight. We're here to honor her memory and help him out. They spent pretty much the last year pretty much battling cancer, and anybody that's ever been around that understands that that's not a cheap thing. You some rack up some bad medical bills. So this is just a little bit of something to help out, show him some love, and help him understand and know that the community's behind him and respect him, and hopefully just have a good race for everybody just to come out and have a good time, because that's the main purpose of this race, is for everybody just to come together as a community and have a good time.
Well, thank you for bringing it to us here at Speed Racing Network. I know this is a beginning of a new partnership for us, and great things are going to come down the pipeline, and we love doing events like this. So, tonight, we got a good one in store. Let's go over a little bit of the facts of what we have going on. As you can see, there's a little bit of fog over the racetrack, but that's not going to affect our drivers. The view is pretty clear down there on the track, but it is 100 laps. Temperature's moderate. Just a little bit of cloud cover is all they're going to have to battle. From my experience, the trucks are a lot of fun here. You kind of have a lot of options. You can run a lot of different lanes. This is an open setup event, so guys have been spending the last 120 minutes kind of fine-tuning what they want. What are you guys' expectations in this event as far as what the racing is going to look like?
Well, right now we have some of the best truck drivers that are on the service. Several of the drivers with us tonight are in actually the top 70 of the Road Pro. So a lot of experience. Going to be a fast race. These guys are going to really get around this track. I was watching them earlier. We have the pleasure of having Coke Series champion Michael Conti with us tonight. A lot of his drivers from Team Conti are here. We appreciate their support. They do amazing things for the community as well as you guys. So we appreciate those guys coming out and helping support Russ. The people that don't know, Russ actually owns a setup company as well called Nitro. So that just shows you the respect that he has within the community, to have people like that from other shops to come out and support.
100%. So they're putting in their last qualifying laps. It looks like we should have the grid here shortly. Looks like we have 35 trucks that took a lap in practice, and it looks like all 35 trucks will start this event. So here in just a second, we'll have that starting grid up for you. Here it is on the screen. Pretty good qualifying times here. We saw a pretty tight field through practice, so no shocks here. Obviously, you guys know a lot more about the people that are in this field tonight, so who do you expect to run up front and put on the show?
What do you think, Marty? Well, right now, the person that's on the pole, Anthony Promoter, he was last season's champion for one of the leagues that I worked with, that I broadcast. So he's definitely going to be tough. He's always at tough races like this. Dan Shamoon's going to be another front runner. Michael Chobach, he's going to be hard to beat. Andrew Payne is another great one. James Holzer, and of course we can't rule out the champ, Michael Conti. So some of these guys have chosen not to qualify. You have guys like Chris Hill and Christopher Pfeffer. Those guys are amazing and have good long run speed, so they're going to be there at the end. So I can't put a finger on it, man. This could be anybody's race because there's some just amazing talent here tonight.
Don't leave out Philip Groner either. He's
Oh yeah, Phil's
he's a
Phil's
good
awesome.
one too.
Well, and there are a couple of drivers I know in here as well from our world, and James Kerr starting in the 17th position. Obviously, somebody that's driven for my team for a long time. Also, just won our KSP Series championship. So he's a force to be reckoned with on the service. Other drivers like Brandon Burkhart, Dustin Suter, James Holzer, just to name a few. Dalton McKinney have run with us and won races with us in the past. So you have a good mashup between the community that you guys represent, some of the drivers you've been on the service with for a long time, and then a couple of the drivers who have been around SRN a long time as well. And it's kind of putting the best together, and I'm really looking forward to this event. Our I ratings range from 8,300 to 800, so you got a little bit of everything out there. That'll for sure create some entertaining moments, but they're all going to have 100 laps to settle it out.
Actually, it's 120.
120 laps. So I'll get the ticker up, and we'll get ready to go here. Before we get started, Jim, I know there's some partners and you have some prizes and all that in tonight's event. Talk a little bit about what you have planned there.
Yes. Well, first of all, we want to thank Jimmy Fisher over at Apex Sim Racing. He is going to be providing us with the winner's prize. Myself, I own a 3D printing company. I am going to be providing some random prizes throughout the race. And the second prize, Mr. Dylan Clark is in the race. It's actually racing. He owns a company that does paints. He's going to be providing the third place prize. But I am going to be doing some random drawings throughout the race. We're going to do a drawing at lap 30, 60, 90, and 120 for a prize. And then we're also going to give a prize out to the person that leads the most laps, as well as the person that has the most incidents.
Well, the green flag is out here at Homestead, and we are getting started. Orderly start here. You see the slight fog from our camera view, but like we said, from the driver's standpoint, not going to really be a huge issue. It's a little bit clearer the lower you get on the track, but distractions are a thing on the sim sometimes, and you got to channel that. But it looks like Josh is out to a pretty good lead here.
Yes, Anthony Promoter got a good start there, and with Logan Kai's kind of rolling in behind him with Andrew Payne, bringing up third place there. Now we're just going to see these guys run a race to where I would say some of these guys burn their stuff up at the beginning, because Homestead is a very abrasive track. It falls off anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds over a run. So saving tires is definitely going to be a good thing.
And you're already seeing a little bit of it. We talked about it a little bit before the race started, but you can pretty much run any groove on this racetrack. There's about 5 of them. I wondered how early we'd kind of see that used. I mean, typically, with the way I like to drive them, I'm a tire saving first kind of driver, so I usually stick as close to that white line as possible, early at least. But you know what? These trucks, they're so momentum based. If you can get on the high side, just keep your momentum up throughout the corner. Especially when they're packed up like this, you can pass 4 or 5 trucks, but you have to think about at what cost, right? What is that doing to your tires? And, you're carrying more throttle time. That's going to affect fuel mileage as well, which I believe is roughly 45 to 50 laps or so in these trucks. So they're going to have to make a couple stops. We'll keep an eye on how these guys are going to choose to split that up, because I'm sure there's going to be some differing strategies there.
Yeah, we have a good battle for the lead there. Andrew Payne was able to get around Promoter, but Promoter's gone right back around him. So we've already seen that top groove starting to come in, and people to use that top groove. So, and just in the practice and the testing that we've been doing, there really wasn't a whole lot of different tire wear, whether you're using the lower line or the high line. So it's all gonna kind of depend on how these guys got their trucks set up.
Got Michael Conti and Philip Groner all the way up to 12th and 13th now for the back.
Yeah, they started way back there. So definitely have some fast movers. Pfeffer's up from 14th, up from 23rd to 14.
Yeah, that group
Conti's
from 12th on to 16th are all up 8+ positions from their starting point.
Right.
So that little group there, kind of running in that pack, kind of just slowly making their way up there. Another thing when we were talking about with Andrew running that high line that we saw earlier, you know, in a 120 lap event, you also have to think about at what cost, right? You put that truck in the wall early. I mean, you can now with the new damage model kind of get lucky in some situations and rub up against it and be okay, but you know, I wouldn't really want to kill the right side of my truck 6 laps into a 120 lap race.
Yeah, unfortunately, that new damage model, if you get any side skirt damage, you're screwed. It's kind of really big, especially like left side skirt damage, because we used to run the truck to where it would kind of tap around the track from a splitter standpoint. You can't do that now. It'll get damaged and just really slow you down.
See the fog starting to thicken back up a little bit on our screen. Probably the thickest it's been since we started this race, but we talked about the distraction factor. Yeah, that's right.
Weather, man.
It's that summer Gulf Coast weather rolling in. Exactly. So it looks like it looks like a majority of the field from just kind of these wide out views are just getting to that white line, wrapping it. Trying to take it nice and easy. And, you know, the track temp's not super high, so you know, you can run your tires a little bit harder than you typically would here, I think, at a Homestead race. But some of these guys, they're looking pretty stable through the corner, but you can kind of tell they're taking it a little easy.
Oh yeah, and I don't blame them. You know, it's a long race, so you're definitely going to want to keep something there towards the end. Try not to tear your truck up. Keep your front end nice and clean, and then be there at the end.
We're keeping an eye on this group right here. Sorry to cut you off, Jim, but I was just noticing this group right here that we talked about. You know, just a second ago we said 12th through 17th. Well, now that group is 8th through 14th, and so they're just picking them off a little by little, and just coming up together. And there can be advantages in that too, you know, especially some of these guys that race around each other a lot and road to pro and things like that. You know, they know, hey, I can follow this guy through and he's going to pick the right lanes and make the right choices, and that can even make it easier for you to try to fight your way through the field.
I think pretty much the only thing people are using the high line for right now is passing. Yeah, they need to get around somebody they're passing. The dirty air on these trucks after this new build has just been crazy too. So trucks get really tight up close behind another truck. So that's probably playing into the high line as well in some cases. Yeah, they're looking good so far. Everybody's nice and clean. Everybody's been playing nice.
Getting tight up here again for the lead. Andrew Payne's under a little bit of pressure there. And the thing that makes Homestead such a fun track and raceable track is the fact that you don't have to follow the vehicle right into the corner in front of you in whatever lane they're in. You know, we talk about dirty air. It's one of the biggest proponents of racing nowadays, even in some of the short track applications, believe it or not. And anytime you can find some air on the nose of your vehicle entering or exiting a corner has very big advantages. And on some tracks that are very narrow, you know, I'm thinking turns 3 and 4 at Texas is a really good example. It can be really tough. But here, you see right here, the top two, I mean, there are all kinds of different lines. And they're being able to keep that nose clean, that air coming in, that downforce on the front splitter. It just helps that truck handle a whole lot better, and helps tires too.
Sorry, we had to slow one there on the apron there. We got back on track. I thought we had a problem there.
Yeah, I was watching that while he was talking. Yeah, but it looks like these Team Conti boys are running are definitely got the top. And then you got three of the Nitro guys right behind, 4 of them, like 5 of the Nitro guys right after that, and then Conti. So yeah, and then of course Pfeffer and Chris Hill, I'm pretty sure they're still with Altus. So that's that's a huge pro team as well too. So I got some really good people out here. This is an awesome race. I'm really happy for the turnout.
Well, you can see on this camera that we're looking at right here, the 72 gets close enough to the wall while the camera actually goes inside the wall. But that just shows you how close, he's actually running to it. Comes off of it a little bit in the middle of the corner, probably smart, like we said. You're 15 laps in here, no reason to scuff the side of that truck up yet. But I like what he's doing here. He's keeping in touch with the leader, keeping clean air on that nose. His front tires are gonna thank him later for that. And just kind of manage this race. We saw a couple slow cars, like you said, on the apron there a few minutes ago. I think we had a couple come off pit road a little bit late because we had a couple start in the pits. It looks like due to our indicators and fell a lap down early. But you know what? Long race left. They can still they can still win prizes, right? There's those random draws coming, so that's a cool thing about this event.
Yeah, hearing about 14 laps, we'll do that first one. So the way I'm going to do this drawing is there was a registration sheet that everybody used to sign up with, and there are 36 people on that. Well, there's 34 drivers, so I'll change it to 34. So the number in which they signed up on that sheet is what I'm going to pull for and use a random number generator. And that's what's going to determine the actual winner. So.
Love that. Love having that. A little extra something in this event. Encourages more people to show up, and we love being a part of it. So working through the field here, our biggest mover, it looks like 66 is up 15 spots from where he started. Currently looking to take over the 6th place here.
Yeah, Chris Pfeffer's tough, man. He's one of the Rotor Pro drivers. So he's been tough. I've known him for a while. He's always been a good, solid racer.
One position in front of him, Michael Conti up 13 to P6. So that group right there. Christopher Hill a little bit further back, but he was riding with that group as well, up 10 spots. Just stuck behind the 95 and 48, it looks like, but you'd have to think he's going to keep meandering his way up there as well.
Chris, I've known Chris for a long time too. Amazing kid. He's another amazing. He's actually amazing built too. So he's all around.
Now we're getting to a point, 19, 20 laps into this event. That fresh coating on your tires is starting to wear off, and now your truck's going to handle it like you've been driving it, or how you set it up, depending on what you were trying to achieve. So, we've seen this field kind of strung out now, but then you're going to see pockets start to come together where some guys are backing up to the guys behind them, and then there's faster trucks coming from the back that maybe set themselves up for more of a long-run style, which, at the 1.5 miles is a lot of times what you want to do with the trucks, because naturally the 1.5 mile races for these vehicles go a little bit greener than other races with other vehicles. So if I was in this event racing right now, I'd probably go lean on the longer setup approach, and so we'll see who's gone that route here probably within the next 5 to 10 laps.
Well, I tell you what, Anthony Promoter is one of the best tire saving people I've ever seen in my life. He's still up there. He's been in the top 3 or 4 the entire race so far, and yeah, he's done gotten back up to 3rd. Dan Shamoon's come up into 3rd. Anthony Promoter's 2nd, and then Dan Shamoon's done moved back up into 3rd, getting around Chobrit, and then Conti just moved up into 4th. So some of these people I think are trying to get themselves at least up towards the front to put them in a position to have a nice up front situation where they once they do that first pit stop, then they'll be in good shape.
So we'll run you through the top 10 real quickly to show you who's where and what's going on. Andrew Payne's still leading. Has about a 2/10 second gap over Anthony, and it's been about that way or a little bit back and forth between those two for the last few laps. And it looks like a little battle developing there. Maybe exchanging the lead for fuel-saving measures. You never know. You have to think that does kind of equate in. And then these two guys right behind him, you just mentioned, Dan Shamoon and Michael Conti battling for third. Conti now up 15 positions from where he started. So some of these guys did elect to start further back, but just kind of plays into how they wanted to run this race. And we talked about the 66 truck a little bit earlier. He's now up to 5th. That's up 18 spots from where he started. So another one of those guys just slowly making their way up through the field. Logan Keys in 6th in that 43. Christopher Hill's up 13 spots in the 99. We rode on board with the 72 truck for a few laps there when he was 2nd and 3rd. He's fallen back to the 8th place now. Philip Groner in 9th in the number 7. And Josh Harbin rounds out our top 10 here, down 4 positions from where he started. So a little bit of movement up in the top 10. It seems like everybody's kind of settling in to where they're going to run this first field run out.
Yeah, there's a good little race for the lead going on up there. Anthony's trying to get around Andrew Payne, but he's got that time. And I think once you get later into these runs, it's really hard to pass on the inside. Somebody's protecting that top. It's really going to take a good run, or possibly that person mess up to even get around them.
And it's just keeping that momentum. We talked about it. You
exactly.
You go to the bottom. It's easier on your tires. It might be more comfortable based on the way your truck handles, and and honestly, running against the wall takes talent. And it's not a talent I have, let me tell you. I try to avoid running the top when possible. But there's a time and a place for it, and this is one of those exact examples. If you can keep that momentum up and keep the throttle down longer, it's going to pay off for you. But contrary, what we saw happen to the 92 there in that last corner, you scrub it a little bit, and it sends you back. You're just hoping you don't get it too hard. And then we also know on the service, the wall can suck you in and keep you on it too. Right. You can't just steer away from it. So you gotta find that fine line. And Conti now is gonna pass Andrew. Yep, for second. So Conti up 17 positions, and we'll compare these top two here to see lap time wise what it's looking like. And you see Conti there, a tenth and a half a lap faster than our leader the last 5 laps now. So he's just slowly, methodically making his way up there.
Yeah, he's another one of those tire savers too. He's Michael Conti's he's a hell of a driver, man. There's not many people that can wheel around here like he can.
And he's not a guy either you want to just give clean air to. So I have to think the 45 is going to do his best to, for as long as possible and as comfortably as possible, keep the 5 behind him. But we all know these trucks, they drive a certain way, and sometimes you have to use the old block method, and that's the best defense mechanism in these vehicles. Right. But we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like Dan Shamoon's running up here. He's gaining on Andrew Payne now. He's done for that 3rd spot there.
Oh, Conti got a little bit in the wall. Oh.
Yeah, we saw that. All of a sudden, it's corner of our screen. You can't miss those bright yellow and blue colors. Kind of scrubbed the wall, similar to what we saw happen to the 92, which just got in the fence a little bit again. You get a little loose, and that right rear kind of grabs the fence a little bit, and it just scrubs a bunch of speed off. Doesn't necessarily hurt the truck. You actually don't see any physical damage or marks on the vehicle, but obviously he loses quite a bit of time, and we saw what happened in 92. He caught it on the straightaway, lost a ton of momentum, and it cost him 2 spots in that one lap.
Right. Yeah, it looks like that allowed Dan Shamoon to get around, and Chris Hill, and Christopher Pfeffer. So, like, Andrew's going backwards a little bit here, but I'm sure he'll be able to get back up and get things going once he's able to make a pit stop there.
Second place, up 17 positions from where he started. Fourth place is up 19 positions, and fifth place is up 15 positions. So there's that little group we referenced, on lap 5, that they're just kind of making their way up there. Well, they're now here. Just behind that end of that group, kind of bringing it up just a little bit later, Philip Groner's now up 14 positions to 7th, and James Holzer's up 13 positions to 9th. So they're on their way as well. Battle shaping up here up front.
Yeah, same way with Russ, the namesake of the race. He's from 25 up to 15th. So, and Russ is known for kind of just letting the race play out, and then now all of a sudden you look up and he's there at the end of the race.
Awesome to see Russ in this race. Obviously, this is about him and his family, but for him to participate in this event, I think, is incredible. I love that he could be out there on track, and it's even better when you're having a good run, right?
Oh, we got a crash on enters the pit road.
We're trying to find it. A little blink out right there.
Looks like it's the 119.
We see him there sitting in his pit box. Damage to the right side of that truck, so coming in a little hot. Maybe got the barrels.
Yeah, he's one of our European drivers, so he's from overseas. So. Naughty hangs out in the Nitro Discord. Good dude.
Michael now clear to the lead, running some pretty nice lap times, and I mean, like you said, it knows how to tire save really well, and so we're not shocked that after 34 laps of green flag action, he's going to be up 18 spots and driving away.
Yeah. Well, while we were doing that, I totally forgot to do the random giveaway, so let me do that right now.
All right.
All right. So the first giveaway is going to be number 14, and number 14 is Jason Holsworth. So number 14, he will get the first hero card of the giveaway.
That is the number 11 truck, which is running.
It
running out there 10 laps down.
I think he was one of the people that started late.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. But here he is, right there in the number 11 Toyota, making some laps. So congratulations, Jason. You have won the first giveaway of the race. So I think we're probably close. When do you think we're going to start seeing some pit stops?
It all depends. If you're in the back and you try to make up some time, you may short pit it a little. Maybe lap 40. Some of the people up front may run it all the way out. It kind of all depends on how. I mean, we really weren't getting that bad a tire wear. I mean, granted, after a while it does get a little loose, but most of these guys that are out there are used to that and can handle that kind of truck. So I would look probably for at least the first all the way back to, I would say, 12 or 13 would probably run it all the way out, and maybe behind them they may come in a couple laps early trying to shave some time off the on the track for the short pit. Yeah,
it's a fine line, and I've been bitten by it multiple times because I think I got the right strategy every time, and what you think is not always what happens. But like you said, you pit early, you gain 2 laps of wet fresh tires, gives you on the driver that maybe you were battling with. That might get you, a second and a half advantage. But if we have another long green flag run after those pit stops, you're going to give up a whole lot more, possibly. But then you also have to think, and this is more of a modern thinking due to the way the next-gen car works, the faster pit stops and stuff like that, spending a certain amount of time on pit road for fuel can make a difference. Can you run these first 2 stints a little longer and then have a shorter stop, perhaps? Maybe try 2 tires if you're not seeing that much wear. There's a lot of possibilities in there if you maybe give up a little bit more early on the strategy. But I think the most straight up answer would be splitting it into thirds, but that would be too easy.
Well,
What is a pit window y'all looking at? What is a pit window?
I think it's 45 to 50
yeah,
is
okay.
what we were
45,
seeing.
46 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be getting close then.
Yeah, so we're going to be getting close. I mean, it's set. I made it 120 laps, so it would force to at least 2 pit stops. And with these guys, the amount of talent that's here, and the fact that they're able to run this race and not get crazy and have a bunch of cautions. I really and truly they'll probably just stick with the tradition, cut it in thirds and kind of go from there. That's what I said. Anywhere from 40 to 45 laps is probably when they'll start pitting. And then, depending on how long they run it out in the second segment, they may, take a little less fuel, but, it's not going to be much because you're still going to have to run 40 laps. So
We only currently see one truck on pit road. It's the 34. A couple other trucks have pitted, but they were already laps down and not in the main contention. So I think we keep an eye maybe on the top 10, and that's probably where you're going to see the first few come from. But
well, Andrew Payne, he just hit pit road, and so did Ryan Lang. So Ryan Lang's another one that kind of sneaks up on you at the end, and you're like, oh my God, where did he come from? So yeah, they may be trying that short pit. Yeah, it's like lap 40. Yeah, so
yeah, about right. Yeah, if they're just putting it into straight thirds, and this is how they want to run it. We'll see how it works out from them. But our first of the leaders to come down pit road here, obviously 4 tires and fuel is going to be the choice. There's no other way of going about it, I would think. The 95 is slow on the front stretch. I believe he got the wall coming out of turn 4. Truck looks clean, so maybe just got a little bit loose. But a good save there. 95 to keep it pointing in the right direction. Michael Conti continues to lead. Has about 2.5 seconds now on the second place vehicle.
And this will show you how important new tires are. So that 46 truck just came out of the pits, and he's able to actually start pulling away from the leader, somebody that's a pro. So that'll definitely tell you how important new tires are here.
And while I have the chance, obviously we are on Speed Racing Network, so I'll highlight some of our Speed Racing Network drivers that are here tonight. Dalton McKinney, one of them, you just saw him unlap himself. Very accomplished Truck Series driver, has been around Speed Racing Network quite some time. Good to see him out here tonight. Has won plenty of races in our world, so good to see him. Dustin,
99 on pit road.
99 just hit the pit road. Take a look at it.
95 is on pit road. Yeah, so
55 is now coming down. Yep. James Babb on pit road as well here.
Now Jimmy Babb, that's my boy. Jimmy actually, he's a crew chief in real life. He runs late models and modifieds in the Portsmouth, Virginia area. He's got a lot of wins in real life racing. Super cool dude.
To wrap up the SRN drivers, Dustin's out here in the 15 truck. Ran with us this past season. Newer to Speed Racing Network. And then James Kerr, our KSP Series champion, is out here in the 75. So when they found out we were hosting this, a couple of them wanted to jump in here, and we're really happy to see it. Looks like Conti's still staying out there. He can probably go about 5 more laps, so I think it's kind of his choice to run long. Pause there for a second, but the 45 has hit the pit lane, so second place.
Yeah, so I would say that Conti will probably come in the next lap or two. Once that second place peels off, it kind of starts signaling to you.
Yeah, you're going to lose so much time if you stay out too long.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you lose any lead that you gained, so.
See these trucks come down pit road and then come off pit road. We have plenty of camera options for pit road, surprisingly. But this is the busiest we've seen it here. The 66, the 45, the 7, the 83, the 93, the 948, the 33. Got a lot of guys coming down now.
Would have to say Conti would probably be coming this lap.
Yeah, they're going to come soon.
43, 74. Most of the field now, it looks like, is coming. 74. right there. Here comes the
Like
43.
Conti's coming in now.
Yep.
Yeah, Conti's coming in
Whoa,
now.
whoa,
Ooh,
coming in high.
whoa.
Wow. Well, avoids disaster. But it was, he didn't make it, he definitely wasn't losing any time getting on pit road.
Right.
Yeah, a little sideways.
Well, he comes to the safety of his box. That's going to give the lead now to James Holzer.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to come in. He just said he was coming in, so he'll be coming in this lap. And
We'll get our camera out of the fog there. That last camera angle was couldn't really see that number 17 truck, but yeah, here he comes, and all those guys pass him on the right. We already saw them on pit road. So it looks like we only have a couple trucks left. Russ is coming. Oh, the 777 just hit the inside wall. We're on the pit road right there. Kevin Clark. He's pointed the wrong
he's
direction,
sideways.
and he's going to tow. Russ is on pit road. He's going to come to attention of his crew. The 42 is still out there on the racetrack.
yeah, so yeah,
James Kerr now
Derek.
coming in.
yeah. So this lap should probably finish up the pit cycle.
Looks like it.
I would think.
Saw
I
Dalton
can't
McKinney get
speak.
fresh tires. He's currently registered in 4th. So we'll see kind of how this all cycles out. You see who was running up front, like the 99, the 92, they're passing him now. So a big undercut by the 46, but he's paying the price now for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The leader just come in now, so that should, other than Doc, unless Doc comes in this lap, that should.
Oh, we got another one
finish.
sideways at pit road.
Looks like Derek in the 42 was. He was the one that was in his box already.
Yeah.
I think it was James Babb in the 44. Nope. His truck was highlighted, but it wasn't
maybe.
him.
Couldn't really check it. It looked like maybe 55 on his truck. It was
30.
scraped off on the side. I couldn't
30,
really. Maybe
35.
35.
Yeah, it's a 35 truck. Hey,
So not an easy pit road to get on, clearly. There's the 35
Oh, it
right
comes up
there.
very fast, faster than you think it comes up.
Truck
which is
looks to be
fair.
in decent shape, so I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, so it looks like Christopher Hill's gonna inherit the lead after this round of pit stops. So.
Yep, Doc has not pitted yet, but he's already been passed for the lead, so he's going to give up at least a lap now coming down. But the 99 Christopher Hill is going to assume the lead. That's 19 positions better than where he started. Michael Conti was the leader. You see him, he's about half a corner back. So he's going to be coming in a hurry, I'm sure. The one other thing, we saw pit stop span about a 10-lap range right there, is it's going to create a lot of fast closing rates. Because you got guys on different tire strategies, and that creates issues sometimes.
Yep.
You're expecting a truck to get in the corner a little bit quicker, and all of a sudden he stops right in front of you, and it's really nothing he can do but the fact that he's just on a different tire strategy. And that there's not a giant LED sign on these trucks telling you when the truck in front of you pitted, so you kind of have to keep track of those things in the back of your mind, and that can be a lot to think about. But you see right here, comparing first and second place, that's Christopher Hill and Andrew Payne. The lap time difference, Andrew's about just over a tenth quicker on average, it looks like. And that's just what
look at Conti's numbers. He's got like 5 lap pressure tires.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll look at him right there. So this is Christopher Hill's lap times now compared to Conti's lap times, and yeah, that's a difference right there.
That's huge.
2 tenths, 2.5 tenths. I think he got held up maybe by a slower truck that last lap, but he just made the pass for second. So now we can draw up this comparison, and yeah, you're seeing it. That's what a few laps of fresher tires will do for you. But the 99 does get a couple laps led under his belt. What crew chiefs always are trying to do, and obviously drivers here, because we don't have people sitting on top of those virtual pit boxes down there, but you're trying to net positive in some cases, right? I think maybe the best example of that would be somebody that pitted real early, like Dalton McKinney. Maybe he was running 20th, but he knows if he pits early, by the time the next pit cycle comes around, maybe he's 15th or 16th, and that's a net positive for him. So Oh, you're always thinking about that in the back of your mind too. It's more than just making laps. It's what we're trying to say. There's a lot that goes into it, and you see that lap time delta on some when Conti has clean racetrack, he is hauling the mail.
Yeah, it's clean air is king right now. Chris Hill is, he's got some dirty air with those trucks in front of him, those lap trucks. So that's definitely not helping his position.
Yeah, and Conti's like 2/10 faster with just those 5 laps.
Right.
And there he is, right there. You see him, probably about 10 truck lengths back now of the 99. So 99's enjoyed his time, but he's probably counting the laps down now. But what I have seen in this event, and this is impressing me as somebody who watches a lot of sim racing and does broadcasts and run leagues and such, the lap trucks are being very respectful. They're knowing their time and their place. They're giving the leader kind of lane selection, and they're predictable, right? That's all you can ask of lap traffic. Just if you're going to run the bottom in this corner, run the bottom in this corner and the next corner so I know where you're going. It's kind of that rapid change of where you're going to be that causes some incidents and some frustration, but everybody in this event is doing a really good job so far.
Yeah, they're being very, very respectful.
And I think it's cool that we're seeing a race this clean with an iRating span of 8,000 basically from top to bottom. That's even more impressive.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's some amazing talent out there right now running this race, and we were just very fortunate that they came together to put this race on.
That lead is shrinking rapidly, and this Team Conti truck sitting right in front of our leader, probably helping the old boss man out a little bit here, aero blocking the 99. But when we start lapping more of this field, the lap traffic gets faster too, and it can be harder to work around some of these trucks because they're not necessarily way off the pace, and that's when lap traffic really starts to hold you up. So, and you see them sitting side by side right here. That's what the 5 wants. Yep.
Yeah. That's just it. The mic is come on up through here, Conti.
Boss's orders, you'd have to think.
Split them in the middle.
Look at that. What a pass. Michael Conti back to the lead. That's right. Beep, beep. I'm coming through.
That's great.
Perfectly executed pass right there. Clean. Saw the hole. Went for it. Committed to it. A lot of times it's when drivers get a little hesitant. We see a lap truck pull to the bottom right there. That causes issues too. If you're gonna commit to making a move, just make the move. You're usually better off that way. But we'll see now that the 99's given first place up. We'll see how far back he goes. There's a couple more tire advantages behind him. The 66 845. They seem to have a little bit fresher tires, so they'll probably close in on him a little bit. But eventually it'll equalize out-ish, and it'll only be a tenth or so advantage, and you're not going to really see a ton of movement that way.
All right, well, it's time for the next drawing. So this next drawing, I'm going to hit the old random number generator here. Random generator number gives me number 27. So I go over to my list, and the number 27th person to sign up was Christopher Pfeffer.
Congratulations.
Pfeffer. Congratulations, Chris. You get a 3D printed hero card.
Awesome. That's a great prize. I love that. And Chris is loving that he's up to third and closing in on the leaders. He's running some pretty good lap times. Let's see if we can pop those up for you. Ooh, whoa. Contact there with that lap machine. Right there. The 33 it looks like. But Christopher wins the second giveaway of the race here on lap 60. So congratulations to him. Love that truck too, by the way. That's an awesome paint. And it's the right number. 66 is one of my team's numbers that we run from the very beginning. So I'm all about that right there. But love those red, white, and blue paints. At SRN we always run a Charlotte race every year that usually falls kind of around when the Coke 600 is, because we try to run along with what the official races are doing on the service, and some of our teams do a really, really good job on those patriotic paint schemes, and it's awesome to see. I love it.
Right.
Back up front, Michael Conti
That's
is gone.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say that number 17 truck, that Coast Guard truck looks really sharp.
Yeah, he's nearly 4/10 faster for second place right now.
Yeah, that's
grown.
That's impressive. I mean, that's a shout out. These guys are like really good.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just a 3600 iRacer. These guys, they just make it look easy. It's really not. I mean, these guys really know their stuff.
a little bit of movement back here, kind of right outside the top 10. Russ has himself up to 13th now in that pit cycle. So we saw him kind of come down in the middle of that cycle. So he's kind of that center point we're looking for as far as how up or down the running order he goes. Up 13 spots from where he started the event. But it's probably about equal to where he pitted. Now, he was running about that same area. We're just running through the top 10 here. It's almost settled out to close to the exact running order we had before the pit stops. Holzer's down just a little bit, but he pitted a little bit on the later side, so he's starting to make up some ground right now. The 92 is a little bit lower than what he was running at that time, but he's also been running really close to the wall, we've seen, so maybe tapped into that a little bit and lost a few spots. But still half a race left, plenty of time, another pit stop. And one thing we didn't mention on that pit cycle, which you have to think, if this goes green, your next stop is the money stop, right? It's going to be the last one you make. Can't afford a penalty. You can't miss, you can't speed, you don't want to hit those pit barrels, obviously. We saw the 777 truck spin getting on pit road and touch the inside wall. We talked about it being a tough pit road, but there's so many different things that can happen to you trying to make a green flag pit stop that even could happen to this 5 truck and completely change the landscape of the race. I mean, we saw him get on pit road very aggressively that first time, and if he sped, we're looking at a completely different race for him. So
exactly.
you got to already start thinking about that money stop.
Yeah, these guys, like I said, the level that these guys are racing, they have that down to a science. Especially most of these guys that are running up front. I know Dan does, Anthony does. Of course, Conti's probably the master at it for as long as he's been doing it. Chris Hill and Chris Pfeffer both. All of those guys are just amazing at what they do and the show they put on. So, those guys would be okay. Some of the guys in the back, I really and truly, I can't find anybody here that's not going to be good at what they do, man. I'm still just starstruck at the amount of talent that's here tonight.
Exactly.
And that shows the strength of our community, too, when we're coming together for a cause of any type, that these guys who, some of them could be putting practice in for their road to pro stuff and things like that, take that time to come here and race with us in this event. Truly speaks volumes of the community we have. And also just know that we can lean on each other whenever we need each other. And there's just nothing better than that. So the racing's been good. The field's been great. The community's been awesome. You can't really ask for a better evening here on June 29th.
Yeah, these guys. Russ is just a super nice guy. He's very well respected within the community. The man would give you the shirt off his back. So that's just a testament. The people that have shown out to show the support today is just a testament of who he is as a person, and what all he has done for the community himself too. So we really do appreciate all of the support tonight.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's helped me from the beginning of iRacing. It's like Jim said, he'll give the shirt off his back. He's just a super nice guy.
We love that we can host this event tonight for him, and Jimmy did an excellent job putting it together. And again, we're glad that you brought it here to us for us to put together as we start tapping into more avenues outside of just our normal series here on Speed Racing Network to broadcast and bring to you. And this is just a great step in that direction to get our feet wet. And for you guys coming up here tonight to broadcast with me, appreciate it. And
well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can't race yet. Injuries, but I just appreciate you having me. I just enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Love you being here.
All about him.
Also knocking the rust off of my production gloves a little bit here too. So I know there's been a couple not so great screen transitions already tonight, but it's all about building towards what we have going on here. Speed Racing Network coming soon. Speaking of that, I'll take this 10 to 15 seconds to show everybody on Monday, July 1st, we got some really exciting stuff coming out of the Speed Racing Network camp as we develop a rebrand of Speed Racing Network to kind of fit for what the model is and what we're trying to do for our community of drivers going forward. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in joining Speed Racing Network as a driver, as a sponsor, as a broadcaster, as a race control officer, we have plenty of open positions that we're hiring for currently. You can go to speedracingnetwork.com. Our Discord server link is right there on the homepage. That's the best place to be. And then the other thing about that is we post events like this in there all the time too, and you can be a part of these races too. So that was my 30 seconds to a minute on Speed Racing Network. We'll get back to the regular action here. But if you guys want to be a part of that or learn more about us, speedracingnetwork.com is your place to go.
Yeah, so it looks like right now the best lap of the race goes to Dan Shamoon. Down at 33:41. And it looks like he's kind of picking up a little bit of time on Pfeffer there.
That's cruising.
Yeah,
that's a lap.
He's rocking and rolling around there. Boss man Russ, he's made it up into the top 10 now.
Yep.
So he's up what, 15 spots.
Yeah.
So
You got Holzer ripping the high line up here, trying to make moves, and seeing a good battle between Anthony and Philip Grover.
Ripping the high line. Wow, he's dusting that thing off.
He's going.
There's not going to be any letters left on those virtual Goodyear tires. He keeps that up much longer. We see it in real life. Obviously, Kyle Larson comes to mind, right, when you think about that line in real life. But the difference between him doing it on the real racetrack and here in the sim is the exact edge of the wall is not exact on here. And the internet connectivity kind of dictates where your truck falls on track because it's not being hosted on the computer that you're racing on. And because of that, if you get too close, it thinks you hit it and it sucks you in. So we talked a little bit about that earlier, but you just got to be careful. But you know what? It's getting that time in the race where now you got to start taking some chances. James is looking. He's like, man, if I want to get up there and compete with this 99, 66, 5, I gotta do something. I gotta get a couple more spots, and the high line is supposed to do it. Up 16 spots from where he started.
I want to give a shout out to James because he wanted to start in the back of the pack, and he is actually matching every spot. In addition to the donation that he gave, he is matching every spot that he gains from his starting position. He's matching it with another $1. So I thought that was just the coolest thing when I heard that.
Awesome.
So he's on a mission.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to keep an eye on him and see how far he gets up. I mean, he's all the way up to 6, so he definitely
made the pass on Philip Grover.
Yep, up 17 spots now for the number 17.
Yep. So that's amazing.
He's definitely ripping that wall.
We were talking about Dan a little bit earlier, and I just like how he's run this race. We've seen him kind of stay lower middle groove, keep the truck in a good, favorable position, pass everybody clean, minding his business, not a scratch on that truck, and running P4. So he's definitely in contention.
Oh yeah, so that's going to probably come down a little bit of pit strategy and some good luck. If he can maybe get in a lap before those guys in front of him, make up a little bit of time, give him a little bit more of a chance to get closer so you can kind of battle with him a little bit. He's been kind of plagued by a little bit of dirty air, I believe, right now. So, but he'll be there. He'll be there at the end. He'll definitely be one of the people at the end that's going to be able to watch.
So we talked about tire equalization. I look up the lap time history now between first and second, and you see Conti's a little bit faster for a lap, then Hill's faster, and Conti's a little faster. Not big, it's half a tenth here or there, but they pitted on different laps, but those tires eventually kind of equalize out or come to a pretty level temperature, and you're going to get about the same out of them. So, you know, it's that first little bit that makes that difference when we talk about short pitting, we talk about running long. It's that little period of when those tires are really fresh. The other part of it also, you pitting on a different lap, it changes your fuel outlook and strategy. But for those guys that are looking to split it into thirds, now is their time. And it looks like the 5 truck right here, listed as the 34, but it's the 5 truck, is on pit road. He was one that split it pretty evenly earlier. There's the other 5 truck right there. Andrew Payne coming down pit. Oh, wow. He was working that wheel coming down there on pit road. He's now in the pit lane. So the highest runner that we see making his second stop now.
Yeah, good battle between Holzer and Groner.
Yeah, they've been
back
going
and
at
forth,
it.
back and forth.
Yeah, they've
Holzer
been
would
going
go
at it.
down
Here.
low, Groner would go high, or vice versa.
That's the beauty of Homestead. You have options. You know,
Exactly.
and it's just as much as Holzer's trying to get around the 7 as the 7's trying to figure out where's Holzer going to go. Where do I need to run? And mirror driving is a dangerous game to play, but it can be extremely effective.
Oh, looks like we lost Andrew Payne.
Yeah, he lost, disconnected.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here as well. It looks like he got on.
Bump everybody up a notch.
Yeah, he got on pit road very hot. I mean, could have had a speeding penalty, but I didn't see that pop up. So we'll have to see what happened there. But Holzer now, you know, he spent a couple good laps battling with that 7. Tires are probably a little hot. He's taking a step back.
He's a little loose. Yeah, it looks like he's a little loose on that top side.
Yeah. And the 7 now is challenging the 8 for position. This is for position number 4.
Saved his tires a little bit. Now he's trying to make a little bit more run to the front there. They know they're going to be coming up. Oh, he's coming into the pits.
Yep.
Going to the pits.
It's on pretty clean, it looks like. Yeah, you don't see a lot of right to left motion,
really good.
smooth.
Yeah.
That's
so
what you
this-
want right there.
You can make a bunch of time on pit road and throw that in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting on pit road and getting off pit road here at Homestead. You
Yeah.
got that access road. Whoa, I think that was Dylan Clark back there. That it's not going to give us a replay, but he got really sideways getting on the pit road there. But yeah, that was he looks like no damage, so should be all right. The 7's coming off pit road now. We got a couple more pitters. Dan Schmoo and Christopher Hill.
Yeah, so this is probably about the earliest that they could pit and make it to the end, which is going to be in their best interest because they're really not going to, you know, it doesn't look like we're going to have any cautions unless something just crazy happens.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Conti now coming to pit road. He was really aggressive last time. We'll see about this time. Man, he's just too good. He got close to the barrels, but you know what? That's probably nothing to him. I'd be freaking out if I got that close to the barrel.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably do it in his sleep.
That's right. So he's on pit road. The 66 is
Yeah.
on pit road.
Yeah, all the front runners are going to be on pit road.
Holzer
here.
in the 17's on pit road. The 45 is down pit road. So pretty much everybody up front is on
Yeah,
pit
looks-
road.
Now it looks like Christopher Hill may be trying a little bit of different strategy. He's he's still out there, so he may try to see if he can save him some tire and kind of be there at the end to be able to run it hard.
Logan Keys is still out there. He was one of the last trucks to pit the first cycle, so I had to imagine he's going to probably just keep running long and keep that strategy playing. Russ up to second. He has not made his pit stop yet, so he's playing this a little bit longer this time, this run, see what can happen.
Yeah, Conti pits and comes out and is still in third place.
Yeah.
Like we have Phil Groner with a 455 with a really fast lap.
Right?
It's picking up. The pay window is now open. We're getting down to it. So a couple
he
more
just did a
pits.
362
Wow.
lap. He's picking it up.
He knows it's go time. He's like, I got to make the best out of these tires right now.
Hill just did a 309.
Wow. Yeah, these guys know. They know what's up now.
Yeah, it's go time.
See it right there, that pink time. That's doing some work around Homestead right there.
Yeah, it's we're gonna start seeing these boys work for a living here shortly.
What makes them the
Wow,
best? We're
Hill
about to
just
see
hit a
it.
265.
77 on pit road.
Dan Shamoon with the fastest lap with 33.250.
Yeah, I keep popping up the lap time graph on somebody else, and we just keep going to the next guy, and he's running a million.
Yeah.
That little pink lap time's jumping around to everybody. But are we surprised it's jumping around between the guys we said
No,
we're going to be the
not
ones?
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, any one of
Not at
those.
all.
Yeah, any one of those top 10 guys are just. It only takes
They
one
know
click
what they're
or two
doing.
on this. Yeah, it only takes one click or two to set up or something to separate those guys. It's just crazy.
Russ hits the pit lane, so he'll cycle through. 43, which was the leader at the time, is now making his pit stop, so that'll cycle everything back. We'll let timing and scoring update here in a second, because it's kind of all over the place, because there's just trucks everywhere. All kinds of different strategies and stint lengths, but Christopher Hill in the 99 is going to assume the lead at this time. You see right behind him, though, that's Conti in second. So that'll be the battle up front. The 66 had a really good pit stop. His lap delta on his pit time was really good, and so he's up to third and closer to the 5 now than he was when he was running. So that we talked about the aggression getting on pit road, but if you do it right, you can make up quite a bit of time.
Exactly. Yeah, pit roads can
For
definitely
sure.
make or break you, and you got to figure. Chris only has one more lap on his tires than Conti, but yet and still he's in front of him. So just that one lap was enough to put him back in front of him after these series of pit stops. So again, that just shows you how important those tires are. And I'm sure he probably ran it pretty hard that one lap just to try to make up some time.
And Philip and Dan that battle I think is just going to go to the end of the race. Those two are just going to be locked in step together the whole time. But it's providing some pretty entertaining racing, so I'm not going to root against it. James Kerr is running 10th, but he has not pitted yet, so he's running a little bit longer strategy. I think outside of that 75 truck, everybody else has made their second stop.
Well, Ryan Lang's still out there. He's been out, been 24 laps since he pit. Robert Lorenz pit early. He's been out there 13 laps. And then James Kerr. And then, let's see here, Dalton McKinney.
Yeah, Dalton we saw
those
pit real
two,
early the first
yeah.
time, and then pit early again the second time, so he's just off sequence.
Yeah.
The 31, he pitted about the same time, so he's just a little bit off sequence as well.
Right. Yeah, but these guys are definitely hauling the mail because they're lapped all the way up to 15th place.
You got Dan on the bottom. One of you will use your lap car as a pick here.
Dan
It's around Phillip for now.
Yeah, gets around him for third or fourth. I mean.
The battle that just keeps on giving.
That's a great race with those guys.
Still foggy here at Homestead. Hey, but you know what? We've avoided the virtual rain. So for Florida standards, I think we're doing all right.
Right. Sure. Yeah, we ran that rain at Sebring, man, after the first weekend, and it was crazy.
I think it's only a matter of time before we see it integrated on ovals and wet weather tires and all that stuff. And, it might not be. It'll be fun. I guess that's going to be the best way to put
Or
it.
they're doing it real like they did it in New Hampshire. So I mean,
It's
you
coming.
can only imagine it's coming.
And you guys are letting me slack here, so I forgot the 90 lap giveaway.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Oh man! All right, so random number generator says number 35. So number 35 is Derek Runge. Derek Runge wins the third hero car, 3D printed hero car. So I'll get with him.
Congratulations,
Derek Run, 42 machine. Followed him onto pit road just a little bit ago. Running in P16. Has had a nice clean day and comes home with one of our prizes. Pretty good looking truck too. That helps. Hey, good looking trucks, they go faster. I don't care what anybody says. There's some truth to that.
I'm a firm believer in that. It's good for another at least 2 miles an hour.
That's right. That's right. Little better fuel mileage, you know. Tires last a little bit longer. It just helps everything. Kid ourselves here. So, doing a great job.
Like Dan's starting to separate himself from Groner here a little bit, so I don't know if he just picked up the pace a little bit to see if he can catch up to Pfeffer or...
Yeah, we're going to look at those lap times here in a second. I wanted to look at the lap times here between first and second because I originally thought, okay, 5-10 laps, Conti's going to be there, he's going to pass him, and we're going to be moving on. But over the last 5 laps, it's 3-2 on who's been faster. And they've had a couple lap trucks come by, but it's mostly been some pretty clean racetrack. And so I'm really impressed with the pace that 99 truck's holding up front. And it might not be as easy as we thought for that 5 truck to get back up there. We'll see. Obviously, 22 laps is a lot of time left, but he's not gaining by a tenth a lap like we saw after that first round of pit.
Well, getting to him, one thing is going to be getting around him. It's going to be the trick.
Hey, but you know what? The 5 has those buddies out here running around the track. We saw it earlier, and they might pull an audible and help him again. But you see it right there. He's gaining, but that's just not a lot. I mean, that's
the dirty air is killing him.
Yeah.
So he's trying to, I think Chris is kind of taking his line away and giving him that dirty air. So he's running a smart race is what he's doing.
And we've seen this race evolve on these lines these trucks are running because beginning we saw everybody try to file toward the bottom, and then at the end of that first green flag run we saw people running the bottom or the very top. Well, now you see the leaders here, they're running either the bottom or that first lane up, and that's where we see the 99 finding a pretty good amount of paces in that kind of first seam. So these guys are just that good. They can find where it is and where they need to be to get that little bit extra and feel and understand that, and that's just that makes them have the edge.
Yeah, Chris has been like that as long as I've known him. He's been an exceptional driver, an exceptional builder for a long time. So he's definitely in his wheelhouse, that's for sure.
When you see the gains there, just kind of staying under a tenth, and with 19 laps to go, that'll get Conti there. But if you're that close in lap time running separated like they are, when you're going to go to pass them, it's going to be difficult for that 5 truck unless the 99 makes some mistakes. And so we'll keep an eye on this. You guys referenced the 8 and the 7. We started to have a little bit of separation there. We look at these lap times. Now these are kind of been back and forth because they've dealt with a little bit more lap traffic, but definitely the most separation we've seen in those two. And I see the 17 back here just ripping the fence behind him, making a ton of time as he gets into one.
Pepper's been a tenth or 2 tenths faster than first and second place. So that's,
and we mentioned that we saw him closer to those two after the pit stop than we saw him originally. Obviously has a little bit further of a gap to go. But if those two start getting tangled up, the front two get tangled up, he's in a good spot.
Exactly. We were talking about teammates. Now, Chris Pfeffer and Chris Hill are teammates. So if Pfeffer gets up there and starts battling with Conti, that may, may change the scope of the race.
This is the closest we've seen these two over the last handful of laps. You see the time delta there, just little by little. That 5's been chipping away. You referenced third place being a little bit quicker. We see it light here, and yeah, about a tenth average there, a little bit quicker. You see him there in the back of the screen, so he's not that far away. And these leaders are going to be in some intermittent traffic over the next few laps. And like we said, these trucks are close, so they're going to be battling hard. And if they battle hard and slide into each other a little bit, that 66 is going to be in the right spot.
And that lap traffic they're coming up on, that dirty air is going to definitely slow the leaders down and allow Pfeffer to catch up a little bit as well too.
The 99 a little loose there off of 4. You saw we could read his door number kind of looking down the straightaway. That's not what you prefer to see, but has got a handle on that thing still. 5 not clearing the 31 there off the corner, I think that might mean something. Because the 5 can't use all the track he wants on exit. We're going to keep him close, but every little bit matters.
Yeah, but he goes low a little bit and gets into that clean air, so that probably helped a little too. So
Look at the lap times again. It's about the same every lap, just over half a tenth. Yeah, and that's. I mean, think about how minuscule that is. That's less than half a tenth of a second that separate these two. But that's just how good they are. But we're getting now into a situation where the 5 is in the wake of the 99 because he's that close. So you see him now. He's going to definitely try to stagger line every corner to find the clean air on that nose to get the downforce there and get the truck handling right. But now is where you start to think about, how am I going to set up the pass? How do I want to go about it? Do I use lap traffic as a pick? Pretty clean track in front of these guys for about a whole straightaway. So I don't think lap traffic's going to become involved. You see the 5 now move way up the track. Yep. He's going to have a lot of momentum coming down the stretch, and he's going to get in the draft of that 99, and that's just going to make it work twice as good.
Yeah, it looks like he had a little tail wiggle coming off that corner too, so he maybe getting a little bit loose.
Yep. And that spot right there where you see him peek that headlight to the left of the rear quarter panel of the 99, that's a real good spot to be, because it does two things. A, you get that clean air, but B, you pack a little bit of air on that truck in front of you, and it makes him not necessarily handle as well. These trucks here on iRacing just got a big update on their physics and aero, and that was one of the points of emphasis, was how the trucks in front of and behind another truck manipulates that air in the way they handle, which is very close to what they do in real life racing. And I think you saw a little bit of it right there, because when the 5 has run that line just a little bit lower to the left of the 99 doesn't get a good run off the corner. Like, he can't get that grip down. But when the 99 kind of either keeps the 5 in his wake directly behind him, or the 5 runs a little bit higher, you've seen the 99 be okay. So we'll see. And then you have James Kerr here right behind these two on fresher tires. Is like, well, do I go by and unlap myself? Do I stay out of this battle for the lead? It's a weird place to be in, but I could tell you from how I know him, he's going to be respectful about it and not cause any issues here.
And Holzer was able to get around Groner for 5th place and trying to close in on Dan Shamoon. He's still ripping that top up there.
Yep.
Seems like every time he tries to go low, he loses a little bit of track position. So his best bet's going to be continue to ride that wall and hope he can get up there and make a bid for 4th place.
And you just look at that onboard right there. That momentum that the 17 carries off the top. I mean, that's just, you can't defend it.
Huge.
That's what makes it so hard. Yeah. So Conti's continuing to move up. Back up front, it's kind of stabilized. The 99's actually been quicker the last few laps, and I think that's just a product of the 5 having that dirty air of that truck right in front of him. Obviously, the 75 being right behind him doesn't help either. But you mentioned it earlier. We're seeing a little bit of motion on the tail of that truck as he comes off the corner, so maybe not necessarily handling the way he wants either.
Yeah, so I'm sure after that last set of pit stops, they were running a little bit harder than they would have normally ran the first 2 series.
I tell you what, though.
I'm sure he put a little bit more into it than he thought he was going to need.
You said something about it a little bit ago. That 66 truck back there in 3rd. I just popped up his lap times on the screen compared to the leader, and he's a 10th to 10th and a half quicker on his good laps, and he is right there now in the screen.
Half a second away right now. He's half a tenth, excuse me.
Yeah, he's coming up into the mix. Yeah, he's coming up into the mix.
Yeah.
He's going to get a sniff of that draft here in a minute. It's going to pull him right to him.
The 75, James Kerr here trying to unlap himself in probably the most respectful way possible. Doesn't really want to interfere with the lead, but is on fresher tires and definitely faster. We saw the other lap truck kind of slide through right there. That gold and black truck did a good job of saying, hey, you know what? I'm on older tires. I'm a little bit slower. I'm going to stay out of what's going on here in this top 3. But that's the closest we've seen that 66 truck to these guys.
Right. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a really good battle. So we're coming up on 6 to go. they know it's go time. So it's time to get up on the wheel and do what you need to do.
The 75 now giving the leader a little bit of battle. So, if I'm the 99, I'm probably just going to settle back in right here behind him. Yep, use the toe down the backstretch, and he's going to pull away anyway. So, not really going to hurt that 99 truck any. It's a big tire difference between those two.
Chris is right on Mike. No, Conti, excuse me.
There he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep,
That 66 has made up some
He's
time.
right in his wake now.
Yeah, he is there.
So, do we see the same thing that happened to the 5? Does 66 catch him and just kind of get stuck in that weird in-between area, or is he just that much faster? I think he's got saved a little bit more tire compared to the other two, and I think that's why we're seeing him come on here so late and so good.
Yeah, him and Conti pitted at the same time, but if you watched his lap times, he kind of used the draft more to his advantage, I think.
I mean, between them, there's a 0.2 of a lap difference on clean track, and they pitted on the same lap. So that shows you how we got a truck way sideways behind him, but wow, fantastic save back there. But that just shows you how you drive it and manipulate it makes a big difference. And we're gonna come back here 3 to go, and if I'm the 66 though, I gotta get by this 5 quick, because if I want a shot at the lead, I can't mess around here.
Yeah, he's got to go now. If he don't pass him in the next lap or 2, there's no way he's gonna be able to. Chris, and here we go. It's like coming off the 4. He's trying to.
That's tight. Oh,
yeah.
They're both sliding all over the place. 99's loving this. Christopher Hill says, "You know what? I like this." Yeah.
He's like, "See y'all."
Both those trucks sideways on entry. 66 gonna clear them. Clear up. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, he's got it cleared.
Oh, nope.
Nope.
Oh.
Just when you thought you had me, you drug me right back in.
If I was a spotter there, I might have just lost my job on that exit, but
here it comes.
Yeah. Conti ain't gonna give it to him. He's gonna make him work for it. That's for sure.
All right.
What a run, Christopher, having a great run.
Yeah, up to second. 2 laps to try to get this 99, but he's gonna probably need some help in that lap truck that's in front of the 99. We saw James Kerr pass him and take off, so he's not gonna catch him. That's not gonna slow down the 99. So just a lap and a half that Christopher Hill has to make without any risks, and he should be okay. Meanwhile, this fog is really setting in, so it's probably a good thing we're wrapping this up.
Get ready to come up the final lap.
Well, 1 lap to go. Christopher Hill out in front.
Looks like Christopher Hill up front. Pfeffer, Conti, Shamoon, Groner, Promoda. Russ is up to 7th. Amazing run by him.
Oh, Michael's losing it. Oh, he saved it. He was sideways coming off turn 2.
66 just a little bit too late, but an impressive run to get back up to second.
Again. Oh, he saved it.
Oh!
Amazing run from
Oh, man. He's got nothing left. Off of turn 4, though. Christopher Hill is going to win our race today here at Homestead. Congratulations, Christopher. Fantastic event. Fantastic race. The 5 had a big lead. We saw some pick strategy and just incredible driving there on that last stint there by Christopher Hill. Do everything he could. There's Conti sliding back there.
He's still
those tires are done. Impressive performance here by the 99.
He had a flat, but I guess he's just losing it. Playing around now.
Hey, Michael Conti, you think you could come over into the Speed Racing Network so we could pull you up in the booth for an interview, please, sir?
Incredible.
All right. Well, there you have it. What an amazing race. Green flag racing.
120 laps of green flag racing. You can't ask for any better than that.
No, you can't.
That was an amazing race. I'm glad we had the turnout for Russ. And I hope he understands that the whole community's behind him and here for him. So I am really, really thankful and blessed to have such an amazing community to help with this.
Exactly.
Well, while he's doing his burnouts, we'll go ahead and pop up your finishing results here, so you can see where your favorite driver finished, or teammate, or really anybody. We'll roll through the highlights of the first few here. We saw an incredible battle. I think everybody that finished in the top 10 really deserved it. They had to work hard for it. A lot of good drivers in this field. Not an easy feat. We saw really good battles between the 7 and the 8 pretty much all night. They come home 4th and 5th. We talk about some big movers. Listen to this. First place, up 19 positions from where he started. Second place, up 21 positions from where he started. Third place was up 16 positions. Fifth place was up 16 positions. Sixth place was up 16 positions. And ninth place was up 16 positions from their starting place. So even though we had no cautions, no big incidents, those guys worked from the 30s and high 20s up to the top 10 for the finish. So as you guys see the results, anybody in here in the top 18 that you're like, wow, what an incredible run, or anybody else you'd like to highlight?
So did Christopher Pfeffer was the biggest mover, you said?
Yep, up 21 positions from where he started. He was the biggest in the entire event.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was really amazing. Yeah, but the battle with Dan Shamoon and Groner, that was probably about the best racing for the entire race, except for the last 3 laps with Pfeffer and Conti. That just shows you the skill level those guys have after running almost 40 laps on those tires, how they were still able to run faster and run it sideways and still be able to get to the end without having any kind of issues. But the fact that we ran this caution free with with 35 trucks for 120
Amazing.
laps, that right there is a testament to the talent that was here tonight.
And there's the back half of your field, the rest from 18th on back. Again, looks like we had 35 cars register for the event. 34 of them turned at least one lap. And, I mean, it's pretty impressive that 120 laps green, the top 20 still finished within a lap of the lead. So that's some pretty good driving by the field.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So, I think it's time we talk with our winner. Jim, if you want to go grab him and bring him up here, we'll see what he has to say about tonight's event.
All right, let's see here. All right, come on, Chris. Yeah, it's not letting me do it.
I'll grab him. He's down there he's down there in race 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab him. I got to drop him a couple times. But he'll get up here eventually.
Yeah, usually you can just right click.
There we go.
Mr. Chris Hill.
What's going on?
Amazing race, buddy. Amazing race.
Well, I hope it looked as good from the broadcast as it was on the track. That was pretty fun. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was an amazing race you guys put on. We really appreciate you guys coming out, being part of the race for us, and putting on an amazing show. So how did it feel to beat the old pro?
I can't lie. He kind of whooped our ass the first run. I had nothing for him. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I knew at the end of the second run, I couldn't tell if he was just sandbagging or if he had, his rear tires weren't happy or what. But I mean, he had like a 4-lap tire advantage, and I saw I had a little bit on him longer on there. So I was like, well, I'll just get close enough to short pit him by a lap, and I was really hoping he'd do the same thing and just go long, and he just never get back. But he tried to pit right after me and cover me, and I think I dirty aired him long enough for his tires to hit that cliff again. So luckily I was able to keep him back there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I hate this track. You can ask anybody who's close to me. Homestead is not my place. So considering Mike's probably seconds quicker than me, that felt pretty awesome.
Yeah, Pfeffer was coming on pretty quick, man. I think if you'd had another couple laps, you might have a fight on your hands.
Yeah, I was giving it all I had when I was trying to stay in front of Mike. So I'm sure Pfeffer's tires were in much better shape than mine.
Yeah, he sat back there and just watched you guys go at it and kind of saved. And I'm like, yeah, here he comes, because we were tracking it on the screen. Because they're the last 5 laps. He was almost 2 tenths faster than you
Oh
guys.
yeah, he's winning 10th and 2/10 every lap. It was like he's coming.
Yeah, yeah, I did irreparable things to my tires.
It was a great race. Great job. Congratulations.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
thank you.
yeah, I'll get with you after the race and get with you and Jimmy, and then you can get with him and pick the prize from him, and then I'll get with you on something else too. So
Cool
all
deal.
right, yeah,
Thank
but
you
I
guys, and
appreciate it. Yeah.
yeah, and a big shout out to Russ and his wife's first memorial race. I hope it was good. Just we love Russ, everything he does for the community. So I'm glad we put this on.
Yes, sir. Any
Yes,
shout outs
sir.
you want to give out while you're up here?
Just you guys and Russ putting the whole thing together. Everybody who came out tonight to put on a good race. Everybody who took time out of their night for it, and Pfeffer and all the Altus guys for slapping this setup together last second so we can come out here and race with you guys.
Very cool. All right,
Very
man. Well,
cool.
we appreciate your time tonight, buddy.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Our winner tonight, Mr. Christopher Hill. So, like he said, he did irreparable things to his tires. That adds up. That makes sense. That's about what we were saying too.
I grabbed Chris.
All right, perfect. Well, he is the next
Well, I
one we're
thought I
talking
did.
to. We'll
Yeah.
go grab him and bring him up
It
here.
won't. Yeah, for whatever reason, it won't let me put him in.
It
here.
says no, you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to grab him?
Yeah, let me grab him up here. There he is.
There he goes. Mr. Pfeffer,
How we doing?
amazing race, buddy. Man, you were freaking hauling ass at the end of that race.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the truck was handled really nice. Except I was struggling a little bit out of turn 4. I think maybe I was just driving bad because Chris was fine with it. But yeah, I mean, we just took our truck from Road to Pro from Chicago and it transferred over pretty well. And it was a great time, man. This track's awesome with the new truck. A lot more lifting. All the lanes seemed to work. It was a great time.
Yeah, to watch you guys run 120 laps and no cautions and some great racing throughout the entire field. It was really great racing. But we appreciate you guys coming out and spending your time with us tonight and help us celebrate Russ and putting in the time to do that. And we know you guys are busy with your Road to Pro schedule, so it is a testament to the community for people to take their time to do that. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for letting us be here. We're happy to donate money for Russ, help Russ out. He's a great guy. He's good to the community. So I'm happy that we can help him out.
Yes, sir. Now I'll get with you for because you won second place. I'm doing a custom light box for you, so we'll get together and we'll figure that out how you want to get that made and I'll get that out to you. While you're up here in the booth, is anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, man. Just everybody on Altanda and specifically Chris Hill. I mean, him and I have just been two men in this truck ever since it got reset with the build, and I think we've got it pretty dialed in now, man. It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, buddy, we appreciate your time tonight, and we wish you luck in Road to Pro and all that good stuff. And have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Good
you
job,
guys.
Chris. Fun watching you.
All right. Second place.
All right. Well,
I meant to
well,
ask him if he
well,
was
that's-
saving tires. I didn't want to interrupt you, but,
He probably was.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was going to ask him if he was saving because he was really fast there at the end.
All right, Conti's in the in race 2 down there. If you want to pull him up.
Yeah, let me find Michael Conti. Okay, there he is. Let me drag him a couple of times, and here he is.
Mr. Conti, how you doing, sir?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Man, we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was a good time.
No problem. That was some amazing racing, man. Looks like you were getting a little loose coming out of the corner there toward the end.
Yeah, I just kind of gave up. I knew I screwed up and burned the right rear off. We made some bad adjustments, and I figured I'd go out in style. So yeah, the last couple laps was like a drift exhibition, but it was good. It's a fun race and great that we went green the whole way. Really good job by everybody who was in here tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of amazing talent in here tonight. We were very blessed with the amount of people and the talent that did actually show up. And as it's a testament to you guys. You guys came in and brought a bunch of people with you. You guys have a great program over there. I've known Dustin for a long time, and I really got excited when you guys started doing those classes, giving back to the community and teaching them how to do things better to kind of help the racing. So that's a great place to start and a great way to do it. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys, and I think it just goes to show um, how Russ is viewed in the community. I mean, I don't know Russ well at all, but from what I've heard, he's a stand-up guy and does great things with an iRacing. So the fact that everybody showed up tonight, took time out of their Saturdays to come support Russ and his family, again, that just shows what kind of guy he is. So was glad I could come out and do it. Was happy to see 8 or 9 Team Conti trucks in here supporting the event as well. So yeah, glad to have done it. Glad the racing was good. Congrats to Chris and Chris on the top 2 right there. And yeah, truck was fun. First truck race I've done in a long, long time, and definitely still a lot to learn apparently. But it was a good time, so I had fun.
It was fun
Awesome.
watching you, brother. I know that. It was fun to watch you.
Yeah, you kind of took them to school those first 2 segments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
I've
the
done
first
that.
one. You was really
I've done
fast that
that.
first segment.
That was a mistake. You would think after all this time I would know not to show my hand too early, but I guess I was excited and I just want, just wanted to go fast, and I think I went a little bit too fast. You can still learn things after you've been on here for 100 years, so let that be a lesson learned.
Right, right. Well, again, we appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the cause tonight. Um, Michael Conti, Coke Series champion, owner of Team Conti. Check him out. All right, Mr. Conti, we appreciate your time, sir, and you have a great evening.
Thank you guys. You do the same.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Michael Conti, our third place finisher, I believe also led the most laps this evening. Might have to double check me on that, but it definitely seemed like that might have been the case. Um, but what a fantastic event we had. We had 120 laps of caution-free action at one of the best racetracks on iRacing, in NASCAR, whatever you want to say. You just can't ask for better. We saw great battles between multiple trucks. We saw different skill levels come together. We saw a great community come together in a support of a really good person and a really good cause. And that's the best way to wrap it up, I think.
Yeah, I second that. I mean, the amount of support has been amazing. If it wouldn't have been for the fact that it's summertime and a lot of people are on vacations, we probably would have had a whole lot more people than we could have accommodated, and I would have had to have heat races. But I was contacted by multiple people that are going to actually donate to the cause when they get back from vacation. So this is going to be a very successful event to help a great person and be able to give back to them like like they do to the community.
Yeah, and then that's what we're here for, and it was so fitting that it was paired with such a fantastic race. I mean, it's a storybook ending that we all wanted, but the first annual. So I guess the question is, and it might be too early, are we running this thing back next year?
We will be back next year.
Awesome.
We actually had this in the works for a while. Of course, with her passing, it kind of slowed the process down a little bit. We're working on the details, and so of course when that happened, we had to kind of step back a little bit and regather our thoughts. And now going forward, we will make sure that we do hopefully come back bigger and better next year. So.
Well, we loved helping this cause. We love seeing Russ in the race, participating in there, and he had to be smiling ear to ear the whole time, just seeing the people that were on the racetrack with him, and I'm sure he'll watch this back later, and and it'd probably be a little bit emotional for him, but it just shows the love and support that this iRacing community has when we need it, right? And that just speaks volumes. And it was really good, Jim, for us to merge and bring together our two iRacing communities together. We're obviously
was.
strongest when we're together, and this is the first of many things we'll probably end up doing together. So we
Yes,
hope
sir.
everybody enjoyed tuning in with us this evening. If this is your first time visiting Speed Racing Network, you can learn more about us at speedracingnetwork.com, but make sure you like this stream in support of what we did tonight, but then subscribe for future events. Our leagues are currently in their summer break. Registration will open in August. For our leagues that fire back in September. We'd love to have you join and be a part of that. Of course, any special events that we happen to bring your way, you can hear about those via the Speed Racing Network social media platforms and our Discord server. Jim, Marty, I appreciate you guys joining me in the booth tonight and putting up with my little bit of rusty producing skills that I'm trying to iron out before we get to Season 7 of Speed Racing Network. And then again, if you missed it a little bit earlier, the Speed Racing Network rebrand is all being revealed and unveiled on Monday, July 1st, both in our Discord and on our Speed Racing Network social channels. There'll also be a big thing posted in the Discord as well. We're really excited about what we have working behind the scenes, and we look forward to sharing that with everybody. So I guess I'll give you both a couple minutes here to kind of say your piece before we send it off for the night. Jim, I guess we'll start with you.
Again, I want to thank you guys for hosting this for us and making this come true. I look forward to working with you guys in the upcoming season. That's going to be fun. I am glad that we were able to put this on for Russ and show him how much he does mean to the community. I appreciate Marty joining us tonight. Marty's my bud. He's kind of our gimp right now. He had to have some surgery, so he can't race. So I told him I was going to drag him in the booth with me. So, but anyway, it was a great race. Great people that showed up and showed support. Just a great testament to the community and the caring people that are part of it.
Yeah, and thank you for having me, Jonathan. This is my first broadcast ever.
Oh,
on iRacing.
nice.
So, Russ, if you're listening, we love you, buddy, and you're a great stand-up guy, and you're just a great person. And I know you've helped me, and you've helped many people in the iRacing community, and you're greatly appreciated. And keep your head up, and I hope you're doing well, buddy. And thank you, Jim, for inviting me, and I had fun. I just wanted to be a part of this somehow, and thank you for letting me come and join in with the fun.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to, now that we know that this is your first broadcast and it's doing pretty darn well. We're gonna have you back for sure. We'll get you on some more events.
I already told him that.
Well,
Text him behind the scenes, said, "Hey, Marty, you're gonna be back."
That my first one, and I just wanted to be a part of this. And Jim told me I'm more than welcome, and I wanted, since I couldn't race, I really appreciate y'all letting me be part of this.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
you,
thanks for joining us tonight. So, well, we had a fantastic evening. This race will be available to watch back as soon as we stop the stream here tonight. I strongly encourage you, if you joined us late, to go back and watch from the beginning, because we talked about what tonight was all about. But then the racing from start to finish, from flag to flag, was incredible. There's plenty of highlight reel moments we could clip from it. We'll also post the link to the full replay on the social media channels of Speed Racing Network too, if you'd like to go there. But on behalf of myself, Jonathan Byer, the president of Speed Racing Network, Jim Martin, and Walton and Marty Phillips, who joined me here in the booth tonight, thank you for joining us. Please take care of yourself and each other. God bless, and we'll see you on the track very soon.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Good night, everybody.
Good night.